Hello everyone, today's video I'll be reviewing Nosferatu with my father. This month is the 100th anniversary of Nosferatu when it was released. The way I'm going to celebrate is by reviewing the movie with my dad, but before I dive into the review with my father, here's my presentation of the plot, who directed it, and when the movie was released, on what date. Nosferatu is a 1920s German expression horror movie. It was based on the Bram Stoker's novel Dracula. At the time, the German film director F.W. Murneu could not get the rights from Bram Stoker's widow, so he took the same format from the Dracula novel, but made it his own, and he changed it up. Instead of called Dracula, it's called Orlok. He ended up getting sued by Bram Stoker's widow. Nosferatu was directed by F.W. Murneu, a German filmmaker who... Nosferatu was directed by German filmmaker F.W. Murneu, who directed other horror movies like Faust, The Last Laugh, and Sunrise, one of the earliest movies to win an Academy Award. It was produced by Enrico Deichmann and Albin Grau, if I'm saying his name right. Sorry I'm not pronouncing these German names right for these German expression horror movie reviews. The screenplay was written by Henrik Galeen. Nosferatu was released on March 4th, 1922 in Germany. The movie stars Max Schreck, Gus von Wangenheim, Greta Schroeder, Aleander Gronick, Ruth Landshoff, and Wolfgang Hans. Hello everyone, I'm once again joined today by my father for another movie review, Nosferatu. Dad, do you think Nosferatu is still scary?
I think it's a very scary movie. Part of that added to by the fact that it's a silent movie. And it's just very unique in the appearance and performance of the main character.
Right.
And also in its use of natural effects, natural environment, I should say,
Yeah.
as opposed to what we saw with the Cabin of Dr. Caligari,
Yeah.
which was mainly all staged.
Yes, absolutely. Whereas this film is like really you're on like they were like actually really there on like location, like the like when they're on the boat, for instance. It's like in today's like modern day like film world, they would like have like the sets. They really were on like a location out in the sea in the middle of nowhere in that scene.
Right, and the castle, the traveling in the coach, and the mountains and everything makes everything look more ominous.
Yeah. Again, once again, another time capsule type of film where you really feel you're watching historical stuff from like 1922.
Mm-hmm.
And also, let's talk about Max Schreck. Oh, he really still like is scary and frightening to watch to this day.
Yes, he is. I'm just so impressed by the way he looked and the way he acted also.
Yeah.
And the way Murnau has him popping up, rising from the ground and things makes it even scarier.
I always like love those shots of like like where he pops out of his coffin or he rises up from the boat or he looks around. It gives it that very, very creepy, sinister look. And again, it's another like iconic performance for someone who's never seen the film, because that character has become iconic in today of pop culture for horror fanatic fans.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it has. And I really felt sympathy for the character that went out to sell him the real estate.
Yes.
I mean, he seemed, like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
With a beautiful wife and
right. Actually, fiance. Actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, fiance.
Yeah.
And have him sit there and what's going to happen.
Right. I think what's funny about watching this, I'm thinking about, because before I saw this film, I saw Dracula first, and I'm comparing all the similar, like, same, like, format of the Dracula elements, but of course, because this was one of the first Dracula adaptations, like, again, Murneu just took the same idea, but just changed it. Yeah, like I said, no, I agree. His character was very sympathetic, and you really want to blame his real estate boss. His boss is like the real jerk,
Right?
who
Yeah,
is why
that's
this happened.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how he thought he had mosquito bites on his neck.
Yeah, shit, well, he could, maybe either that, he probably could have had mosquito bites, and someone could have been playing a trick on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, did you, like, ever read the Bram Stoker novel by any chance?
No, I have not read it.
I hate to say it, as a person who enjoys vampire and horror films, I've never read Dracula. Sorry, guys, and
Well, put it on your to-do list.
I'll probably have to do it on my to-do list and do a video about that, and also the other Dracula adaptations. And I don't know if you know this too. About wait, did you also ever see the Shadow of the Vampire, the film that was made about the making of Nosferatu from 1920?
Yes, I did see that.
What did you think of that movie?
I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's not historically accurate.
Right.
They kind of portray Max Schreck as a real vampire.
Right.
Which he wasn't.
No.
And I don't know anything else about Max Schreck's career.
No, me neither.
I don't know if he did anything else after that. But it would have been hard for him, to top this performance.
Well, just like Lugosi, probably typecast maybe, but
right.
I think he was like mostly like, again, another theater actor before he did this movie.
Yeah, he probably was.
I just can't remember exactly like how like Murneu discovered Max Schreck off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Yeah. Have you ever seen others of Murneu's films? Like, did you ever see Faust, Sunrise, and The Last Laugh?
Yes, I've seen all of them.
Right.
But they're all different.
Right, true. Just
the quite different from the horror film. One of the most impressive films to watch, it's a simple story, is Sunrise.
Which I watched that in a film class.
Yeah, and that has amazing cinematography in it.
Right.
It's basically a story about a man who is in love with his wife, and then he gets tempted away by the evil woman.
Right.
And he lives a life away from his wife.
Yeah.
Of debauchery, and then realizes the error of his ways.
Yeah.
But the story is so well told, and the cinematography really is a delight for the eyes.
Right. He also, it was like also like at that time, the first film at that time won an Academy Award for its time. I don't know if that was it was one of the first early films to win an Academy Award for its time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of sad how like he died so young. F.W. Murneu, he could have
right.
Like, just like other like silent actors who either died or didn't make it their career. Who knows like how their careers could have been if they had made the transition from silent films to talkies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also know if you know this either. It was somewhere around either 20. I don't remember. It was either 2014 or 15. Some crazy maniac dug up his grave and took his skull out.
No,
did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I remember watching recently from James Rolfe's Cinemassacre's video on this on Nosferatu. He mentioned that, and I completely forgot about that when he mentioned it. I had to mention this video. It's just, I mean, it would be cool to visit his grave. I wouldn't dig up his grave and steal his skull. That's
that's kind of crazy.
It is crazy. I don't know what I don't know who the guy who did it or what his name was and why he did it, but whoever did it, he must have had a crazy, maybe fixation, obsession for Murneu and Nosferatu, maybe, I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I love the movie, too. I'm not that crazy or obsessed to do that. Yeah. Any other thoughts about the movie that come to mind about Nosferatu?
Well, I enjoyed the Blu-ray version because the images are so clear. And also, I love the score that was associated with it. It really adds to the drama of the movie.
Right.
So if you really want to get a full picture and be totally immersed in the movie, I would recommend the Blu-ray.
I remember the first time I saw it was on that DVD you had. You said, and where did you get it of all places?
Yeah, I got it at Disney World.
Yeah, the happiest place on the planet. Because I think that was before. Well, again, that was before Blu-rays at that time, and that was also. But that was, I think that was the only way I could see the movie was on that DVD we had, because there wasn't a Blu-ray yet before in the late 2000s. I mean, Blu-rays were around, but not everything was on Blu-ray at that time.
The DVD is nice. It's good, but the Blu-ray's worth the upgrade.
I agree on that one. Yeah. Any other remarks or thoughts on the film that come to mind that?
No, I can't think of anything else.
Or how about this? When was the first time you learned or discovered about the film of Nosferatu? How did you hear about it? Reading from a book too? Or
yeah, Nosferatu, just like most of the silent films, having grown up before the advent of home video, was through reading books and also possibly seeing some of it on a public service station. So
well, I knew about it because we had it on DVD, but I didn't watch it yet until I was a teenager because of how I still thought it was. I mean, I still think it's creepy, but in a good way though, like very creepy atmosphere and just very creepy with that makeup effect look. And
yes,
did you ever see the remake with It was Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski?
Yes, I did see the remake. That is also a very good movie.
It is, but
it's not as atmospheric as the original.
No.
But it's worth a look.
It is.
I enjoyed the movie, and I happen to be a Werner Herzog fan.
Right.
So
I mean, I liked it, but the thing is, I think because I saw this first before I guess because I have so much like respect and nostalgia for this movie more than her. I mean, yeah, that had a good soundtrack to it, but I guess because once you've seen the original, you say to yourself, I can't go back to certain things.
I still prefer the original.
Yeah, and I feel like there are certain like remakes that people love, enjoy. People prefer original or the remake, and I feel like for me that can like bounce back and forth depending on the film. Like the thing, I like both the original and the remake, but I like the remake more because of Carpenter's effects in that film.
Yeah, and the remake of The Thing stays closer to the original story.
That's true too.
Than Howard
Hughes.
Christian Nyby.
Oh yeah, right.
Christian Nyby's.
Right.
Actually, controversially, Howard Hawks supposedly directed.
Yeah. True. I guess that's all we can say about the film. Great horror film, still scary and still very, very horrifying after all these 100. Actually, wait, before we close the thoughts, how would you like rank this among like other like or just vampire films in general?
I think this has to rank at the top of all the vampire films that I've seen.
Right.
And even though it's in old technology and it's silent, I still think that I still rank it high.
Right.
So it's something worth seeing, and see it on Halloween.
Yes.
In the dark.
Yes. Actually, double feature. You can watch Caligari and Nosferatu back to back for a very creepy, atmospheric, horrifying night, and say to yourself, what did I just watch, or where did I just come from? Would you say, well, here's a tricky question. Lugosi or this movie?
Lugosi is such an iconic figure as Dracula.
Right.
And that's the person that I've always associated with vampires.
Same, especially that was the first Dracula film I ever saw as a kid.
Right.
It was the Universal Monsters Dracula.
Yeah, so I would have to say that that edges out Nosferatu.
Right.
But Nosferatu is just a little bit below that.
Okay, so that was our review of Nosferatu. See you next time. Actually, before wrapping up this video, I forgot to point out a part I kind of noticed and analyzed a little bit. Do you remember the part when they're when he's on the bow and Orlok is in the coffin and they're talking about a plague and a disease?
Yes.
just when watching that scene, it just makes me think, oh my god, well, especially how this was during the Spanish flu epidemic at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can like relate that scene to what happened in recent events with the whole coronavirus pandemic.
Right, that's true.
Mm-hmm. That's one way of like pointing, like when you look at movies like this, you can definitely point out some like relevant like moments like that where it's like, oh my god, very like relevant in today's like modern world and society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, because when did the Spanish flu end at that time? From 1918 to
I think it took 4 or 5 years. I think.
Okay, 4 or 5 years. So they were still in it. Okay. And the only difference is no vaccines back in that time.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like what we have right now in today's like modern world technology and medicine.
Right.
Okay, so that was our review of Nosferatu. See you next time.
It's hard to say because Lugosi is such an iconic figure as Batman.
I mean, maybe Dracula.
Batman.
As Dracula.
We'll have to edit that part out.
Yes.